Okay, in this quick video, I'm going to take you on a tour of the BIOL1060 Modern Biology Lab. So the entire course is set up in Blackboard just as any online course would be. The labs are supplied by Hands-On Labs, a third-party vendor. I used to work for HOL as an educational consultant, and the entire product development team is staffed with scientists with advanced degrees. They do a lot of research on the common laboratory experiences in American universities and then design labs that use microscale chemistry so that it's safe to do at home and there's just enough materials to be able to conduct the lab safely and have very minimal waste products. Students order the lab kits right here from the website using like a unique course number. One college I work for actually has the students purchase the lab kit when they register for the course, and then the kit is shipped at census once we know that someone is not going to drop anymore. And this guarantees 100% buy-in to the kit. In the more rural community college I work for, I do allow students to share kits, and so two students, if they proclaim that they are going to work together, they can share one kit and then submit unique work to the Dropbox in the LMS. So let's go back to the course. The course is basically set up with the labs, a pre-lab discussion that is run through the discussion, a lab report, which is one report that they write per semester based on any lab that interests them, and then there are periodic quizzes. So HOL has prepared a lot of safety information, videos, documentation, etc. Students have to go through that orientation before I'll grade any work. Then they can get into their labs. The lab files are PDF files, and then they submit a Word document file. HOL prepares the submission document, but I modify it to include a photo authentication so I can see students doing the lab. So I know that every student has completed the labs themselves because I have a picture of them doing it. So here's a lab we just finished. The extraction of DNA. They're extracting DNA from peas, split peas. So there's always learning objectives. These are all QM certified labs. It's the only lab kit company that is QM certified. These are the kinds of common materials a student would have to supply, and this is what comes in the kit. Then you'll see here that there's the background information. There's about 80% crossover in the lecture and lab courses at UCCS, but a student could take the lab course and get all the information they need from this lab manual prepared by HOL. Then they go through, after they do this, the procedures, and finally at the end of this document is the submission document. So let me show you a submission document prepared by a student. So there are tables and various math applications. Then the students also submit questions and their photo authentication. And then I also ask students to take a picture of their handwork so I can check their math, so I can figure out what's going wrong if they don't complete the math correctly. Some students use Excel, but a lot of students are still in this non-majors course at the place of just doing the math by hand. All right, now let me show you something else. HOL has gone to a cloud-based platform, so in future semesters it will look more like this. I didn't do this for the UCCS class because I had already designed it with Faculty Resource Center funding before the cloud was ready this past summer. But essentially here you have a whole dashboard where you can see how far along students are in their various labs, see how much time they've spent on the various components. The lessons, materials, documents, answer guides are all here. This is Integrated Science, a science course for education majors. Let's look here. So these are all the same components that we saw in the PDF file, but they're uploaded here to the web. This is nice because students can access it on the go, and they can pick up wherever they left off, no matter what device they're on. Okay. And after they go through the exploration information, they go into the experiment. And you might notice here that this is following the 5E model of science instruction, which is designed by the BSCS, which is right here in Colorado Springs. So using, contemporary learning theories and instructional design principles. Okay, now I think the highlight of this course, I've never taught a separate lab credit. In all the other colleges I teach for, the lab and the lecture come together. What is really working nicely is this pre-lab that is going through Blackboard. So I have the post first setting on, which means that students can't see what other people have written before they make their original post. They have to submit their original post by Tuesday midnight. So this forces students to read the lab early enough in the week to gather information that they don't understand before they sit down to do the lab on the weekend. And I'm not working on the computer on the weekend, so I can't answer their questions. So students, this kind of information is coming out of the discussion review of the lab PDF file I just showed you, and then they have to ask a question. The questions have been great. Some are philosophical, some are have to do with the technical procedures, and it's really created a great community and lots of engagement among the students. Let me show you a couple other quick things that are really special. This is a microscope that a student bought in my botany class. It's awesome. I just love that students are forced to buy microscopes and they have them at home for lifelong learning. This is a microscope he bought for about $200 that has a camera loaded to it. He's been making great photos of his slides, and I would argue that this has so much more hands-on application than being in the lab because he's all by himself. He has to do all of this by himself. He's not at a lab bench with 3 other students sitting back while another student takes the lead. Now some students go with a cheaper microscope option, but this picture was taken by a student who just put his phone camera against the microscope eyepiece, and it's a great photo. And I am super impressed with how engaged students get with this. Let's see, what else do I have for you? This is the submission document as it looks when it comes out of the HOL cloud. Very similar, but you will notice that these are like web form boxes. So they were answering these questions as they were doing the lab and looking at it on the cloud. Anyway, I think that's all I've got for you. I appreciate the opportunity to teach this course, and I hope that you have questions and you contact me. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you.